Dopamine detox, what happens when you unplug your brain. Hear this before you burn out. Hear that constant buzzing in your brain? That low-key itch to check your phone, scroll something, click anything just so you're not bored for 2 seconds? That's dopamine talking, or rather screaming. We're living in an age where our brains are overloaded with quick hits of stimulation likes, swipes, notifications, snacks, noise, and more noise. And we don't even realize how addicted we are until we stop. That's what a dopamine detox is all about. It's not a fad, it's not a monk thing, and no, you don't have to give up coffee forever. It's about learning what happens when you actually unplug your brain and give it a break from the chaos. Let's get into it. So, what even is dopamine? Dopamine isn't evil. It's not the villain hiding in your Wi-Fi router. In fact, it's a crucial neurotransmitter that helps regulate motivation, pleasure, and learning. It's the reason you get out of bed to eat breakfast instead of just lying there, thinking about bagels. But here's the problem. In today's overstimulated world, we are absolutely drowning in dopamine triggers. TikTok, Netflix, coffee, candy, more TikTok. Likes, swipes, binges, buzzes. It's all a buffet of fast hits that leave our brains twitching for more. And unlike bagels, dopamine doesn't have carbs. It just makes you crave the next thing, and the next, and the next. So eventually, your brain stops getting excited by the simple stuff. Reading a book? Boring. Sitting in silence? Torture? Folding laundry? Who has the energy for that? That's where the dopamine detox comes in. It's like Marie Kondo for your brain, except instead of tidying up your closet, you're tidying up your reward system, and it absolutely does not spark joy at first. The detox, not a juice cleanse for your soul. First, let's clear one thing up. A dopamine detox doesn't mean you stop producing dopamine. That would be bad, like medical emergency bad. Instead, it means you temporarily cut out the hyper-stimulating stuff social media. Processed snacks, mindless scrolling, digital dopamine casinos, and give your brain a chance to reset. Think of it like turning off all the flashing lights in a carnival. At first, it's quiet, weirdly quiet. You can actually hear your own thoughts, which is both liberating and slightly terrifying. But eventually your brain goes, hey, you know what? This book isn't half bad, and maybe we don't need to check our email every 4 minutes. Maybe folding laundry is a form of meditation. Okay, maybe not that last one, but you get the idea. Day 1, the twitchy gremlin phase. If you start a dopamine detox, prepare for day 1 to be absolute chaos. You'll reach for your phone without thinking. You'll stare at a wall and wonder how you ever survived boredom as a child. You'll consider reading a book, then cry when you realize it doesn't autoplay after 10 seconds. This is your brain panicking. It's used to constant stimulation, tiny rewards for tiny actions. You've trained it that way. Every buzz, swipe, and scroll is like a mini slot machine. And now you're saying, no more treats. Your brain will respond like a toddler denied candy, with rage, confusion, and an overwhelming need to scream internally. Don't worry, that's normal. Embrace the chaos, breathe, journal. Pace around dramatically like you're in a low-budget indie film. This is all part of the process. Day 2, the existential realization. Around day 2 or 3, something strange happens. The fog lifts. You realize you've been outsourcing your happiness to apps, sugar, and distractions. Suddenly, you can think clearly. You start having full thoughts again, like beginning, middle, end type of thoughts, deep ones. Why do I feel anxious all the time? Have I ever truly relaxed? Is cereal soup? Okay, maybe not that deep, but you start to see just how much of your time was being hijacked by low-effort dopamine traps, and you start to understand the power of intention. You're not just consuming content or chasing little highs, you're choosing what to focus on. This phase is weirdly beautiful. Also a little creepy, but mostly beautiful. The science of the reset. So why does this all work? When you reduce your exposure to high dopamine triggers, your brain's reward system starts to recalibrate. Your dopamine receptors become more sensitive again. That means the little things like cooking a meal, finishing a chapter, having a conversation start to feel good again. It's like turning the volume back up on life. You start to appreciate the little wins instead of constantly chasing the next big hit. Your focus improves. Your mood stabilizes. You stop needing a constant drip feed of stimulation to function. Basically, you go from dopamine junkie to Zen monk in sweatpants. It's the upgrade you didn't know you needed. But do I have to quit everything forever? Nope. A dopamine detox isn't about becoming a monk who rejects all joy. It's about resetting your baseline so that pleasure isn't something you have to chase every 5 seconds. Once you've detoxed, you can reintroduce things mindfully. Social media? Sure, but maybe not 47 times a day. Video games? Absolutely, just maybe not until your eyeballs start twitching. Coffee? Of course. Coffee is life. The point is to break the cycle of compulsive stimulation and give yourself the ability to choose rather than react. You're reclaiming your brain. And trust me, it likes being reclaimed. Still here, you just beat the algorithm. If you made it this far, you officially have more focus than 90% of the internet. That means you're ready for more deep dives into brain science, digital wellness, and all the weird little ways modern life is secretly messing with your mind. So go ahead, like this video like it's your post-detox treat and subscribe so we can keep feeding your brain the good stuff. No empty calories, just real talk, real laughs, and real growth. And okay, maybe a cat meme or two. Now unplug, unwind, and go remember what real life feels like. Unless you're watching the next video, which is totally fine. Dopamine's not that bad.